We begin with some news in Alec Baldwin land. You will remember that Alec Baldwin shot somebody on a movie set and is being charged in relation to that. Of course, there are a whole bunch of civil cases as well, as you would expect, for wrongful death and other related things. And Alec Baldwin wants one of these cases to be dismissed, saying the lawsuit from the family of Helena Hutchins, the person who was shot, is misguided. Even though he's the one who literally had the gun in his hands, somehow the lawsuit is misguided. Wow. I mean, Hollywood and hubris go together, but man, damn. All right, let's learn a little bit more. Alec Baldwin is seeking to have the lawsuit against him and his fellow co-defendants from the family of Helena Hutchins dismissed. The defense filed a demurrer, which is a motion to dismiss. Some states call it a demurrer. It's the same thing. Against Hutchins' parents and her sister, arguing that they had been distant from Hutchins prior to the death. Wow. So their argument is that, your daughter and your sister died, but it's really no harm to you because you didn't like her very much. Wow, that's an interesting argument to go with, I guess. The loss of a daughter and sister is undoubtedly painful in any circumstance, yet the plaintiffs, who had been distanced from Helena physically, financially, and emotionally for years before her death, have no viable cause of action. This is an interesting way to go. Okay. So it's not that I didn't do the thing. It's not that I'm not responsible for the thing. The idea here is that you have not been harmed. Because even though it's your daughter who's dead and your sister who's dead, you didn't like her very much. She was a stranger to you. So why are you complaining? What difference does it to make to you? That is a new one for this kind of case. I don't see that really working, and not great for the PR on that, but okay. Baldwin's lawyers added into their motion to dismiss that the action is especially misguided. Oh, especially misguided. Okay. Court documents show that Hutchins' husband promptly filed a wrongful death lawsuit after her death, and they reached a settlement. Hutchins' family, who are Ukrainians, because that matters for some reason, filed their lawsuit against Baldwin, Rust, and the film. That lawsuit alleges battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligence, loss of consortium. So that's basically loss of the relationship, is loss of consortium. So that's why we haven't been hurt, because what consortium? Because you were distant strangers to her. The family's attorney described the family as devastated and claimed they were close. Apparently, Alec Baldwin would like to contest that argument that you are devastated and close, and saying you aren't devastated and you aren't close. You live all the way in Ukraine. So it doesn't matter. Okay. It's clear to us that the relationships of all of our clients have been damaged, and they will not be able to enjoy life in the same ways they did when their precious Helena was alive. Helena was the light of their lives. I would imagine being your daughter and sister might have some impact on you. Hutchins, who was 42 at the time, was shot and killed with a Colt 45 that was in Baldwin's hand at the time. Of course, they're still being charged criminally with involuntary manslaughter as well. They could face a 5-year sentence, but no, not so much. Because it's a first offense, they probably will not get any time, even if convicted. And Rust is currently resuming filming in Montana, so we've moved locations. I guess New Mexico has lost its lore, and we're now trying to restart the film in Montana. Thus, that brings us to the end of this discussion about Alec Baldwin's nice, interesting legal strategy, where he argues that this lawsuit from the parents and sisters don't make much sense because, who is Helena Hutchins to you? A daughter? A sister? What even is that? It doesn't matter. So you haven't really been harmed at all. You live all the way in Ukraine. So you have no feelings about your daughter whatsoever. Wow. That's a lot of hubris. And that is the end of that story.